All right, y'all, let's get into the Trump trial and the Fani Willis and such. I told you about that Moses that's coming, and she's got her friend Letitia or whatever, but that's the Fani, the ass, and in another way, and she holds some keys to the pit. So the abyssness that everybody partakes in, it takes them down to that capital system, that capstone on that pyramid, that pyramid. Anyways, the system of the old age, Jupiter ruling, the banking and the money, that's all going away. And as Uranus is coming in to rule this next age and such, you have a little flip on things. Okay, so this is where you get the new heaven and earth setting up, and it's not going to be based on money and whatever, and this is where you get your digital currencies coming in and whatever. All right, so let's get into Trump's trial, because this takes us to Matthew 26, when he's taken before the judges of the land and such, and that judge is that living God, and he's placed his hand on that Bible, that law of the land, right? That bell worship, the Bible, the bell worship. They worship the line of Abel. There's the line of Cain and Abel. All right, the Lord, who is a man, put darkness on one and light on the other, based on an act. Okay, an act is the ACT, the Antichrist cross, where you are that crossroads to act. And Antichrist is against man, because man is the bodies and members of the Christ. The Christ is the living God. So the living God, who came in one form before, died, and he said, within all of you is the begotten Son as well. So we are that living God. We are the sons of God just as much as Jesus is. We are going to do more than what Jesus could do, because Jesus operated in the Spirit. There was no flesh about him. And since he operated in the Spirit, the Jews were a carnal nation. The Greeks were a spiritual nation. So the Jews, being a carnal nation, they do not know about the Spirit. Okay? That's why they seek salvation. They don't understand the spirit of man. They only see the carnality of man, which brings an end to this light bulb. But the light bulb has a filament, which is that spirit within us that makes us us. So he's taken before the living God, the law of the land, the Bible, the bell worship, the satanic courts, and he has to prove himself. Okay? So, same exact thing is going on. Adonia with the AI and such, that means is defined as the Lord. You're all living through the second coming of the Lord. His trial that ended on 2:16, which ties to a divided 16 on the death of the king or whatever. On the king spirit, but this connects to that death on him. So now he's been hung up on the cross, and then you see the fire bite, and he's going into the fire pits of hell and such, as hell's broken open and things. So all these things are going together. All right, so as the imprisonment, Trump's prison on him making money on the knee, which is the worship and such. The New York is the NY, that's the knee, the Thai knee. So he's hung up, and he's having that death. So this is where you have the Death Rider coming in now, and the black, and all that stuff. So this is where the sun's going dark. and he's born under that eclipse, and that eclipse is born in the 46 and in the summertime and such. So that summertime flip is around now, and then it would be where he's being hung up on the cross, and we saw the things happen since he was taken to court, and then they all just kind of stack on, right? So Fanny, she ties us to the Floyd, who ties us to the Lloyd, which is a time machine. She's connected to the 88s, and she's that fan to give that win. So there's a couple things going on. Let's get into Back to the Future Part 1 and 2, because we're living through a rewind and a fast forward and watching it forward again while Part 2 plays out. Okay, so you have to remember Back to the Future was also filmed with Eric Stoltz, and Eric ties to Don Jr. and Eric ties to the blonde hair, blue eye germ man. Anyways, so as Back to the Future Part 1 plays alongside Back to the Future Part 2, then you have Eric Stoltz coming in and playing another character, okay, of these. And then also you have the auditions that you can watch for Back to the Future for these different characters. And you have things where people have done in the cartoons or whatever, but there's different things that we have to go back and reflect on. But Back to the Future is basically the perfect foundation for people to go back and see, and it's the foundation of what they cycle through. And then there's the 3 scores and the 6 that cycle around this clock, and they can be transferred from one to the other or whatever, right? That's where we can see a face-off situation where Trump and Biden are both taken out, and then you have a grab and take. And then as it's a grab and take, you see the divide, and that Don Nation, the donation, the Don's nuts, the D's nuts, Mr. Beast, all these things can go into that mafia score hit and such that I've told you about or whatever, right? These things are all coming into alignment. We have a battle between 2 mafia families. These 2 mafia families are going to take it public, all right, as far as the world stage. And it's going to get good. So, Back to the Future, the Eric Stoltz, this ties in that replay of rewatching it before we return it to Blockbuster. There's a couple more 89s. We're probably looking for somebody to turn 86 and these types of things, because that 6 is the mirror 9, the 2 is the mirror 5. So when Biden gets to be 85 or 82, that would take us from the flip on 85 to when he's 85, and that's the replay on Eric Stoltz and taking Texas and the Don Nation and all those things. But the Don, we got those 3D printed guns, the ghost guns now, all these things that will be playing a role in the future. And just keep the eyes open. All right, and this could be that courtroom where that holy place just shit out like a Al Pacino kind of scene or whatever. And that'd be when you need to go, as far as like a carnal one. We're going from the spiritual to the carnal, so we're seeing the end of the world stage. We saw the rapture world stage happen, and then after the rapture world stage, we saw the day of dawn. After that, 2:11 and then 2:16. All right? So, we'll end it here.